Hello, I'm Sherry Smith-Hoyer. I'm Vice President of the Victorian Hemp Association, and today I have Carolyn Gale with us to talk about her Hempcrete house.
Hello, welcome.
First question, why hemp?
Why hemp? Well, it probably goes, a bit of a long story, it goes back to when we were young and we built a mud brick house, basically because we loved the aesthetic, and we were keen just to have a go at an alternative build. Loved the mud brick, but after 17 years we sold that house, and partly because in summer we found the mud brick held the heat and got quite hot, and we didn't really know a lot about solar orientation and all of that stuff when we built the mud brick house. We then built a conventional house but with solar orientation and realised how much that made a difference. Then we've been avid goers or attendees at the Seymour Field Days for many years, and we saw David there, and year after year we'd go and we'd watch and we'd look and we're thinking, this is great, we love this idea, it gives us the aesthetic of the earth building, but more with the energy efficiency.
The thermal benefits.
The thermal benefits of having a house that wasn't going to be a big load on heating and cooling. So then we ended up selling our other house quite quickly, and then thought, oh, what are we going to do? So then Seymour Field Days came around and we looked at it and we thought, yeah, why not? Let's give it a go. And here we are.
And Carolyn's referring to David Bryan from Southern Hemp.
Sorry, yes, David Bryan from Southern Hemp.
Who's built many houses in Victoria and across the country.
Yes.
Is in Byron at the moment.
Yes.
Coming back from Byron after another build.
Well, we went down to Whittlesea where he was building. We thought, okay, we need to go and have a look at the process as a whole. So we went down to Whittlesea, and that was an addition to a house that he'd already built for them. And they'd been living in that house for 3 years, and they had 3 young children. And I was talking to the owner, and she was sort of saying Whittlesea is very cold, probably colder than here, and saying how with a young family, they really didn't need to use their wood fire all the time, even though it was a very cold winter. And we were there in winter, and it was an ambient temperature. It wasn't hot in there, but it definitely wasn't cold. You had to wear a jumper, but they didn't have heating on. And it was a cold day, wasn't it? It was probably...
It was rainy.
Yeah, cold, rainy, grey kind of day. But so we thought, oh yeah, this is good. And the building process looked very straightforward. You know, it wasn't... With mud brick, you had to make the bricks, and you had to lay the bricks, and you had to render the bricks, whereas this was kind of a very... easy flow, I guess.
And how long did it take?
To do it there?
Yes.
28 days.
28 days.
Yeah, when David said to us, it'll only take 28 days, I thought, double.
All builders say that.
All builders say that. But it pretty much was 28 days.
28 days.
Yeah,
Fantastic. It
was amazing.
And the process. How did you find the process?
Found that really enjoyable, even though it was very hot. It was enjoyable. I must say it was enjoyable. It was hard work, in that physically hard, but not difficult work. It was, we had a lot of volunteers, and, you know, you give them a bit of a one-on-one and then they're able to help. So it wasn't a day's training or anything like that, really. The process was quite straightforward.
And how many people do you think contributed towards
we had a core team of 5. So David, Sherry, and then myself, and then we had 2 backpackers who got on board who were just invaluable. Lucas, shout out to Lucas and Isabel. They were just amazing.
Yeah, they were.
So they stayed for the whole build, which I think is probably your minimum. But then on weekends we would have lots of great volunteers who would come, which was invaluable because...
And families.
And families, yeah. We had families, we had older people here, people from our permaculture group came, and they were great, just to, you know, cart mud around and the hemp around, and probably on weekends we would have, you know, averaged about 4 volunteers here on the weekends, which was great because it just spurred us on a bit more to the finishing point. So, yeah, when people have given up their weekend, you want them to come and do what they want to do, and then they can leave when they want to leave. Like, you're not making them stay here, but yeah.
And it's interesting because for that 28 days, how many days did you have off?
We had one afternoon because it got to 36. Right. And then one day I came out and David was here and he was doing formwork, but we didn't hemp that day because it was a hot day and we were knackered.
And I think,
and I did have the Coldplay concert.
That's very important.
Yeah,
I
so
think
1.5 days.
Yeah, and I think what worked really well, and going back to your question, Nye, was that the flow for which we could achieve so many things, and it was great to have a leader through that whole process.
Yes.
Somebody to say, okay, you know, we need to be doing this. I'd like this sort of a pattern, because there is a beautiful feature wall as you walk straight into the front door that hasn't been rendered. You've put
it's a dustproof sealer,
Yep.
from Grimes, for earthen walls,
and that has some oxide colours through it.
No,
It's all just plain, but it looks like it has.
And I think it just dries. It's the drying process, or maybe it's the amount of water that's in the mix that contributes to that.
Like, and we learnt so much about
recipes.
How much water, too much water, heat.
But it was also good because David was pretty much, he was pretty much on the tools the whole time doing the formwork. So it was great having you, because you had previous experience and you did 90% of the mixing, which was great because you knew the formula. I didn't get up on that mixer. I didn't do any mixing. So it was great. I didn't have to worry about the mixing. So I just concentrated on the
on the walls, the finished product.
So it's good, I guess, if people have their roles in that way. That was good. And then Lucas and Isabel were great because Lucas, he was able to do the mixing as well.
Lucas did everything.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, they were great. They were young, so we could send them right up there.
That's right.
You know, the scaffolding, when I got up to there, I was like, oh, but Isabel was there with me, so that was right.
And they were very competent.
Oh, they
very
were.
capable of doing all of that.
And both, like, Lucas was a chef and Isabel was in hospitality, so there was a professionalism to them, I must say. They did everything properly.
Yes.
You know,
and they wouldn't just leave the job.
No.
That's what I loved about them as well.
No.
And Isabel was a driving force in that. She's going, we're nearly finished.
Yeah.
And we just keep going.
Yeah. Let's just finish this
wall. Let's just finish it. Yes.
And we go, okay.
It was beautiful.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, we were very lucky.
And I think we learnt along the way a bit about the fact that it's great to have a white card, but if you have a builder and having that insurance and having people signed in to say that they would be covered under that insurance was really important as well.
Because the OC health and safety is a bit of a concern on a, self-build in, because you do have a lot of stuff hanging around, there's a lot of trip hazards and, you do have to be conscious of that too, because once you start getting into the scaffolding, you've got ladders and planks and that around, so you do have to be a bit aware of the whole OC health and safety thing.
Yeah. And nimble people who are
yes,
able to go up there.
Yes.
Yes. I'm at the mixer, thanks.
Just give me 5 minutes to climb up there with me.
No.
Yeah. Where's the handrail? Yeah. It's amazing what you can do when you have to, though.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And really, there weren't any incidences at all in this build.
No, thank goodness.
No.
No.
And, well, really, it was very well run.
Yeah, well, I guess.
And good oversight by Peter, your builder, as well.
Yeah.
So he was another person who would, be able to suggest things that needed to be done.
Yeah. And he was...
He stepped in when something... He could foresee something could have happened, and he stepped in to say, hey, don't do that.
Yeah.
Or,
yeah.
do this.
And he fixed the windows, and he did all that framework to David's specifications. So they sort of talked together.
Well.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And what about the process with permits, and what was that experience like? Having been a builder in the past, using alternative materials like mud brick, How did you find hemp and the process of getting council and permits and those sorts of things?
Okay, well, getting the permit for the mud brick was back in the 80s, and that was easy. Owner builders, easy. Didn't really have to tick too many boxes. This time around, it was stressful, just because in this area there weren't any other Hempcrete houses. We went through a private building surveyor, and they were very, I don't know, they just wanted lots of engineering reports, and yeah, it was quite excessive. So the whole, I guess, 12 months it took us to get the permits through.
Right.
So that probably was the most stressful part of the build.
And you're also in a fire risk area.
Yeah, we've got a bushfire overlay.
That's right.
Yeah.
And having hemp, which we know as Hempcrete is fireproof, how was that acknowledged?
They didn't.
They didn't?
No.
Okay. That's a work in progress,
yeah,
isn't it?
it's a work in progress. They, even though I sent them every report I could find,
Yep.
every, every article I could find, but it didn't make any difference because it didn't tick a box that was on the page, sort of thing.
Yep.
So, yeah, so we spent a bit on reports from engineers on that side of it. So that was hard, that bit. It was, I must admit, that was probably the most stressful part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the actual building wasn't.
No, in fact, that's part of the joy, isn't
Yeah.
it? Building your own home.
Yeah, yeah.
Saying, this was my wall.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So,
And even though you're not fully in, how have you found the experience of being here? And as you're gradually finishing the build, the feeling of either, the temperateness of it, the soundproofingness, that sort of thing. How have you found that?
oh, it's amazing because some days, at the moment, we're living in a very cold little house in Tatura, and some days we'll just come down here and be in here doing jobs just because it's so much warmer. And it's interesting, our painter was here, and one day I came, he's in shorts and a T-shirt, and I said, he said, honestly, Carolyn, the temperature doesn't change.
No.
He said it's really, comfortable in here all the time.
And we're at 5 degrees
yeah.
at the moment.
Yeah, so, I mean, we still haven't got all our insulation laid in the ceiling. We're just waiting for the electricians to finish the lighting and that, and then we can lay the ceiling insulation. But, yeah, those north-facing windows, you'd only have to stand there and you're warm.
Brilliant. Yes, and in your potting room.
Yeah. Yeah.
So toasty.
Yeah, very, very.
And I think there's something in the fact that if you're going to build a house like this, you want to get the most out of it.
Yes.
You want to have a house like this at the beginning, not at the end.
Maybe we've gone overboard, but we haven't put in any air conditioning. We've only got fans, so we'll see. We'll see how summer goes.
And may we come back at that point.
Yeah.
When you are fully in,
Yeah.
we might do a little tour and talk about what it's been like through a full season, through
Yeah.
the seasons of a year,
Yeah, it'll
and
be
to see
interesting.
what it's like.
It will be interesting. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your
Oh,
time today. It's
pleasure.
always good to see you.
Oh, it's so good to see you again too.
Thank you.
And yeah, if anybody would like to come and visit, we're quite happy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
We will
come-
take you
come
up
and-
on that.
Yeah.
We're
come and
maybe
have
an
a
open
check
day
it
or
out.
something like that.
Be great to to get more people building sustainably, I think.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.